Joe Biden is an extremely accomplished, experienced, and capable in every way that anyone would want if they're president.
You never saw anything like what happened at the debate night behind closed doors with him?
It was a bad debate. People have bad debates.
Kamala Harris got absolutely cornered again by another real reporter about why she supports Joe Biden, says that he was so great and capable, but now he's not running and she's getting to run in his place because he's not capable. Watch her do this whole mental gymnastics. It's itsSeanDaniel here, by the way. If you guys enjoy the videos, consider subscribing. Were you honest about Biden's decline? Joe is perfectly capable. I've seen him in the Situation Room. I've seen him so many places. He's amazing. Then why are you the candidate right now and not him? Let's check this out.
Yes. And I know that Joe Biden is not on the ballot. I understand that. But the reason that you are at the top of the ticket is because he dropped out of this race. And so I want to ask you, and it was largely because of that debate performance back in June. You defended him in the days before and in the days after as you were campaigning for another 4 years for President Biden. Can you say that you were honest with the American people about what you saw in those moments with President Biden as you were with him again and again, repeatedly in that time?
Of course. Joe Biden is an extremely accomplished, experienced, and capable in every way that anyone would want if they're president.
You never saw anything like what happened at the debate night behind closed doors with him?
It was a bad debate. People have bad debates.
It was a bad debate. It was a bad debate. I think, oh my God, do you guys see that? You guys see all that brown shit on her mouth from kissing his ass? I do.
And capable in every way that anyone would want if they're president.
You never saw anything like what happened at the debate night behind closed doors with him?
It was a bad debate. People have bad debates. He is absolutely.
But that's the reason why you're here, and he's not running for the top of the ticket.
Come on, get her.
Well, you'd have to ask him if that's the only reason why.
What do you think?
I am running for president of the United States. Joe Biden is not. And my presidency will be about bringing a new generation of leadership to America that is focused on the work that we need to do to invest in the ambitions and aspirations of the American people.
It's a judgment question. That's why I ask. Can you?
This is why that we can even have someone like Trump come in and get popularity. Because we have politicians giving us this BS all the time that is just not believable. Like, if she was just real with us, like, look, he's old, he's demented, he can't function, so I had to step in. Like, a lot of people, especially the black people that she keeps complaining about don't want to vote for her, because black people are very real. All these people, we would at least like appreciate the realness, but it's all these BS games. And so that's why she loses trust. That's why she has twice as many dislikes on this interview video, 9,000 to 4,000 as likes, which I think should actually, this video should actually be liked, and I'm gonna like it right here. Because this interviewer did not play. She pressed her at least right here. But if she was just real with people, they might respect her more. Look at this. Let's zoom in. Glad the comments aren't as brainwashed as the TV viewers. She actually said several times that she saw no decline in Joe Biden. Are you serious? You know, if she was just real, she could earn some support. Now let's see another spot where she was pressed by a reporter about this and her support of Biden and how illogical it is. But she chooses not to just be real. At least Trump is real.
Let me ask you this, Madam Vice President. You call Donald Trump.
The significance of that.
Call Donald Trump He's misguided. You say now
He's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
She said Joe Biden ran circles around his staff? What, in the metaverse? First of all, he can't even run around his staff.
First noticed that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished.
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years.
Look at her.
You didn't have any concerns?
Oh, did you see that body position change? Look at this. Look at this. She's pissed. Because somebody's finally keeping it real with her. And he's doing it in such a polite way.
For 3.5 years.
Look.
You didn't have any concerns?
Oh, she's pissed.
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another running mate. So that is a fact.
Really?
That is a fact.
Really?
Madam Vice President, 2 more things.
He just was like, man, I can't bring this up anymore. Okay, she is true about one thing, that Trump is unfit. For medium-sized jeans, that's about it. And maybe a weekend in Cancun, because he has to put so much tan on his skin to look even somewhat. He's so pale without it. Again, another clip we're going to see of her denying the cognitive decline of Joe Biden, which makes me think she has cognitive decline. No, she doesn't. She's just a great liar. She's a politician. If she was just real, we would at least respect it.
Do you think Donald Trump needs to take a cognitive test?
Well, I'm going to say what I have said publicly and will say many times based on my observations, and I think the observations of many. Donald Trump is increasingly unstable, and as has been said by the people who have worked closely with him, even when he was president, he's unfit to be president of the United States.
Do you support?
She just talks about him being unfit, unstable, but the most obvious thing as to why she got to be able to be in office, she won't explain and admit. Let's see if her and Tim Walz will at least give an honest answer. Will they? What do you think? What do you think in the comments? I'm going to say no.
President Harris, you were a very staunch defender of President Biden's capacity to serve another 4 years. Right after the debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all. Not at all. I have served with President Biden for almost 4 years now, and I'll tell you, it's one of the greatest honors of my career, truly.
President Harris, you...
Greatest honor. She won't even just be honest about it, you know. Because, why? The people who helped her get elected tell her, you can't say nothing about this. You cannot say nothing about this. Because she didn't go through a primary. Remember, she just got prompted up by all the big Democrat people. Now, let's remind ourselves what we saw from Biden at that last debate that helped her have this public showing of his ability that could prompt her up to be the president. This is what really happened. We got to remind ourselves. I had to remind myself before this when I was making this video. And then we're going to see her response after this debate, just for context of how full of BS she is and how she sticks to the talking points so well. But she can't explain her way out of how crappy Biden was while he was trying to run it while she was supporting him. Let's remind ourselves. And look at Trump's face. Watch, here we go.
what I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they'd raise $500 million, billion dollars, I should say, in a 10-year period. We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with
look
everything we have to do with.
He's like,
look.
Are you serious?
If we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death, and he's destroying Medicare.
I forgot just how bad it was, right? And this was Kamala's response right after when she was getting pressed on this.
One of the biggest insecurities facing the campaign going into tonight was the claim, potentially, that President Biden is too old, that his mental acuity is just not there. Reaction across the board, including from Democrats, is that they were not convinced, potentially, tonight. What do you say to those voters who watched tonight and weren't sure that he is mentally fit?
Listen, he did not get off to a strong start in that debate, but he had a strong finish. And, you know, there was a slow start, but a strong finish. And the bottom line is this: let us not decide the outcome of who's going to be president of the United States based on a 90-minute debate. Let's measure that decision against the last 3.5 years, where we have seen extraordinary growth in our economy, where we have seen extraordinary growth in terms of what our standing in the world, what we have done to strengthen NATO and strengthen the relationship with our allies. And, you know, to get more directly to your question, Lindsay, I'm vice president 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I spent a lot of that time with Joe Biden. Whether it is in the Oval Office, where he negotiates bipartisan deals in a way that nobody can in this era.
Oh my
I spent
God.
time with him in the Situation Room, where he is bringing together leaders from our military and intelligence community to ensure America is safe. Where he is when he is on the national stage, convening leaders around the world who I have witnessed go up to Joe Biden asking for his counsel and advice. That's the Joe Biden I see every day. And
Wow. Okay, at least that was a pretty smooth answer on her part, but the fact that she really was not prepared after this debate to give a proper answer on why he was so crappy. You see how she stalls right here?
Listen, he did not get off to a strong start in that debate, but he...
That's pretty bad from the president. We can all see she's lying. Everyone knows she's lying. Again, look at the likes and dislikes. Look at this. 5.8. I mean, people can see through the BS. And that's why she's losing such support. Not only she won't be real, but watch how she loses it even right here. Right after the debate, because she's sick of hearing this question.
I got the point that you're making about a 1.5-hour debate tonight. I'm talking about 3.5 years of performance in work that has been historic.
But
whether
is that
it be
the man
infrastructure,
who we
the
saw
former
on the
guy, the
stage
other
tonight?
guy,
Is that the
the other
person
guy
you
on
see
the
in
debate
meetings every day?
stage, the person that you saw on the debate stage that has, for the last 3.5 years, up until today, performed in a way that has been about, whether it be in the Oval Office. I got the point that you're making about a 1.5-hour debate tonight. I'm talking about 3.5 years of performance.
See, this is why we can all see through it. We can all see through it. And Trump says it best, better than even I can say it, and we're going to end it right here.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a shit vice president. The worst.
Absolutely.
You're the worst vice president. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. You're fired. Get out of here.
I can't say it any better than that, and it's obvious through all the clips I just showed you. The lack of realness and why people are seeing through it. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing or just letting me know down in the comments below your favorite quote that she had, you can literally just put, I'll see you in the next one.